Hey, and we are live.
Hi, we're recording? You said
We are.
okay.
Vlog. Are you there?
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the week of April 21st to April 27th.
Woo!
Hey, we do not actually have any birthdays from our sixth grade class for this entire week, which is kind of crazy. So instead, one of your teachers decided to pull up 3 actors from the silver screen that have their birthdays during this week. We have Jack Nicholson's birthday on the 22nd, which Mr. Lamprecht will talk about in a little while. It's a special day. Kelly Clarkson is going to be on the 24th, and Channing Tatum is going to be on the 26th. Odd fact, Channing Tatum is turning 39 this year. I did not know he was that old.
He's that old?
He's aged well.
Kelly Clarkson! All right, moving on in for updates for this week. We do have a new update from the state of Minnesota. They are saying it is mandated, meaning mandatory, that all students answer the warm-up and exit tickets that are being relied upon for attendance. You are to do those in the online format only.
And do it for every class.
Yes, so you will have to go onto those Google Classrooms. If you are doing the content for some reason, whatever reason is, maybe taking a test, whatever it is, on a hard copy piece of paper, you do still need to go on to the Google Classrooms for each class and complete that warm-up or exit ticket so that we can take proper attendance for you. That is mandated, again, by the state of Minnesota. Then, please do remember to do the full lesson content, including reading the directions like we said last time. And do remember that your whole entire school day used to go from 8:45 to 3:45. It should still go most of that time, if not all of that time. So those of you that are saying that this activity took me more than 20 minutes, yeah, some of them are going to. Remember, your normal class times were about 44 minutes long. So you are still going to school. We're just doing it in this online format. Any of you guys have extra comments on that one?
I would just say that we are trying to do our best with the 20-minute instruction periods, right? I mean, think about how few of instances you have where you only have 20 minutes of instruction and then 24 minutes of homework time, right? So we are trying to do our best to help, and we do understand that it's a lot. Keep at it and keep trying to get a system down. If you keep at it and keep trying, it will get easier and easier and easier. If you decide to not try, it will get harder and harder and harder and more frustrating.
That schedule that we gave you guys on the very first week would probably really help to stay with those schedules.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Miss Doyle. Oh, yep, there you go, that schedule. Word of the week.
Okay, hello, ladies and gents. If you didn't watch my video for grammar, you will be like, Mr. What's on your head? I have a cut, and I decided to actually, since who am I seeing, I guess, except for you guys, might as well actually have a Band-Aid on it. So I'm okay, I'm not dying. I do have a Band-Aid on my face. All right, the word is plethora, and a plethora is an abundance of something, oftentimes more than enough, such as a plethora of Halloween candy.
I definitely used to gather up all my Halloween candy from the time I was really, really little until I moved out for college. And when I moved out, my parents moved their refrigerator in the basement, and they found a pillowcase of Halloween candy from every single year from me being about 6 years old until 18 years old behind the refrigerator. So there was over a decade old of candy built up behind the refrigerator because I would always hide it because I didn't like chocolate, but my brother would always try to steal it from me. So I had this hiding spot.
And you completely forgot about it.
Oh, that was so many pillowcases. I always wondered why my mom thought it was weird that we always needed new pillowcases.
I was going to say, there are so many ways to find out that you've been hiding 10, 18 years of Halloween candy behind a freezer.
Oh,
We used to do the same thing with Dr. Pepper, me and my brother, because my mom had a very strict limit of the amount of soda we could have every day. So we would take a case of Dr. Pepper and we would hide it behind boxes in storage. And we didn't have a plethora back there. We ended up drinking it all. But yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about for sure. The mice didn't get it? That's crazy.
No, No.
See, that's not a plethora, guys. That's called hoarding.
Lamprecht, that's right out of heavyweights too.
I know, right? Oh, exactly. We got anything more on this one?
Oh, no, we're good to go.
All right.
Of high chews, thanks to you, Mr. Lamprecht.
Oh,
Yeah,
you were
Mr.
most
Lamprecht
welcome.
has a plethora of yum-yums in his room at all times.
I do have a plethora.
He still does. He has a plethora of yum-yums down here for the teachers.
I do. There's a cart of snacks. All right, moving on.
Yep.
I'll go for it.
All right, so I just picked a random day, which I believe is next Thursday, April 23rd. And we have, it shows only 2, but there are actually 3 important events that happened on this day in history. In 1616, William Shakespeare died, which is unfortunate, but I think with the amount that we've studied about him, it was worth putting that in there. In 1985, Coca-Cola announced it was changing its formula and introduced New Coke. Now, New Coke actually was continued until 2002. I did not know this. I don't remember it from my youth, but apparently they sold it till then. They originally created it to try to compete with Pepsi because apparently Pepsi tasted sweeter and they wanted to have something that would compete with that sweeter taste, and it was an absolute disaster. It's gone in as like they teach it in colleges about how when you have a certain business product that if it's working, there's no need to change it and improve on it. Just keep going with what already works.
Mm-hmm.
And the
Wait,
third
if it was a
event,
disaster and they sold it from 1980,
Yeah. I
I
thought
don't
it went.
understand that either. I think it was because they just have so much money to burn. They thought it might just catch on. And then eventually they put so much time into it. They're like, we might as well just keep trying and maybe it'll catch on. But you'd have to ask that. You have to ask the executives of Coke on that one.
See, that's so weird because the only thing I know about New Coke is that everybody hated New Coke. So I assume that meant they pulled it like 6 months later or something. That's crazy.
Yeah, apparently it kept on. They changed the name a couple times, but that formula was used until 2002. And then on April 23rd, 2005, in my hometown, is celebrated as one of the most important days in franchise history for the Green Bay Packers. Aaron Rodgers was drafted 24th overall from the College of California and has started since the year 2008. Most important day in Green Bay's history. I could not be more excited to share that with you. I am done.
How's that the most important day? Haven't you guys won a few Super Bowls?
Yeah, he won one of them.
at this point, are you going to open up your wallet to show like a headshot of Aaron Rodgers there next to your credit cards?
Didn't bring it. And
Okay.
I think it's like
All
a Valentine's card for Aaron Rodgers.
Written to him?
next year.
Cathers, on to you.
All right, we only had 2 kids attempt the 24 and answer it correctly. Send me the
Do
result.
better.
I know. I mean, we had like 33 kids do it at one point earlier on. But nice work, Mattheos. You've earned the mint. Here it comes. Ready? Whoa.
Oh, I missed it. It hit
I
me.
went over my computer.
I was gonna say, did that go over your computer?
Sure did.
You're too strong. You're too strong, Mr.
That's
Cathers.
it. That's it. But nice work, Mattheos. Nice work, Cameron. Both figuring it out last week. I'm going to do a tough one again. The numbers are 21, 22, 2, and 2. Lots of 2s.
I like that.
Twos. All right.
2-2.
Moving on to our science fact of the day. This week, we are going to be celebrating Earth Day on the 22nd. And did you know that more than 180 countries of the world celebrate Earth Day as an official holiday? Plug, I know I'm putting you on the spot here, but do you know about how many countries there are in the entire world?
I believe there are 196 in the UN.
Wow.
So I would
Okay.
say there's probably, I would guess probably 220. The problem is it's hard to, with some small island nations, it's hard to figure out whether or not they're a recognized country or they belong to another one. But yeah, I would say probably around 220.
So essentially, most of the countries of the
Yeah.
world
For sure.
come to
Yeah.
the understanding that the Earth is important and we should care for it.
We only live here.
That's a great
Yeah. This is our 50th anniversary of celebrating Earth Day. I know it's a hard one. Normally in science class, I'd be saying, hey, go out, enjoy a park or things like that. That gets a little difficult right now with the social distancing stuff, but maybe just valuing outdoors and the idea of we do need to care for our world and for each other is an incredibly important value to have. So maybe this whole COVID-19 thing is going to bring more value to actually seeing people out in public and going to a park and going for a walk and actually enjoying the outdoors, because we're all stuck inside. So,
I mean, there's nothing wrong with going out for a walk by yourself, right? As long as you're smart, practice social distancing. I mean, it's great for your mental health and your physical health. So, you know,
absolutely.
maybe spending a little time outside, provided that you're able to stay safe, might not be a terrible idea.
When we get those 50 to 70 degree weather days, definitely I'm going outside, that's for sure. All right, let's move on to what we got going on this week, our sneak peeks.
Sweet. All right. So as always, we all go first. And yes, there was that little mistake on the poems I sent home last week. So Tuesday, you will be reading Mother to Son by Langston Hughes. You have a worksheet to go along with that. And then we're going to finish reading our poems on Wednesday with Stopping by Woods in a Snowy Evening by Robert Frost. You'll have a worksheet to go along with that as well. And then Thursday, Friday, and then Monday is going to be given over to writing our author's style poem, where you're going to be imitating a poem by one of 3 poets. And that information will be on a pencil border sheet. You're used to seeing those pencil border sheets. It's on the front of your packet. So yeah, you're going to be taking a poem and doing your own version of it, using some of those things we've been looking for, like assonance, alliteration, rhyme, imagery, and figurative language. So all of that, the actual poem that you're going to create for yourself, like create on your own on a separate sheet of paper, is going to be due Monday. And I am going to be collecting all of those and putting them in a COVID-19 poetry book for 6th grade for this year. So each year we do a poetry book, but this year is going to be a special distance learning version. So that one you're going to have to do on paper as well, because I'm going to put them all together so that we actually can see what everybody else did too. So
I heard there was a COVID-19 page in the yearbook. I'm kind of looking forward to seeing.
There is?
Yeah.
What's on that?
I don't know. I'm looking forward to seeing it.
Just a germ.
People in their sweatpants at home. I don't know.
Yeah, interesting.
Social studies, take it away.
All right, so you said one of the things that was in there for this week is alliteration, right?
Yes.
And assonance.
Yes.
So if I said Aaron Rodgers is an awesome athlete, that would be an example of assonance, correct?
Yeah, well, yes, assonance is actually a vowel sound, and it's usually in the middle of a word. But if you have initial assonance, there's a very, very specific word that nobody cares about nor needs to know. So yes, that is assonance, because it's the repeated vowel sound.
Perfect.
I think there could be a trivium connection to that too.
I wanted to make sure that
fallacy.
Yeah. Oh, okay. All right. We don't talk about fallacies in this one. Okay.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah, but also, by the way, Mr. Plug, nice job. Assonance is not one of my strengths for sure. I struggle hearing those vowel sounds, so I'm very impressed, like super impressed.
Appreciate it. So for this class, if you look at it, it does look a little busy, but there's really 2 things that I want to show. Number 1 is that in a lot of these, it's going to show specific numbers on the reading guides and odds and evens. You do not need to do any more than those numbers. If you decide to, that is totally your choice. But make sure that you look at that, okay? Because a lot of people have been going above and beyond on it, and I appreciate that, but I want to let you know that you have the option. Secondly, you are handing in your French Revolution textbooks next week. You were given those a long time ago. We are finally done with that unit and have been for some time. So I've already sent an email out to your parents, actually the day that we shot this video, and I'm hoping to get those back on Monday the 27th. So I might even send a follow-up email, but we got to get those back, so please do that.
Speaking of those odds and evens as well, remember to look at the front page on your guys' packet when you receive it. It does give a summary of the work for every single one of your courses. Go on to math.
Yeah, that's a good transition. You can see I do not have the homework problems that you're doing. That is on the front page of the packet. It's also the last page of the slideshows for each day of the notes. It is also on the video. It is also on the homework planner. So there are multiple places to see these problems, just not right here. You can see it for our regular math class. We are finishing up Unit 10, and then on Monday, it's not a typo, but we're going to go back and we're going to review Unit 9 because Unit 9 and 10 are lumped together for one assessment. Mr. Plog, your hand is up.
Mm-hmm.
Virtual high five.
He's raising his hand.
No, I was raising it for a question, Mr. Cathers. I was just wondering, do you also have it written down in your lesson section as well? Because you brought up 2 other things, but I'm guessing you probably have it written down in your lesson section in your classroom on your Google Classroom as well.
Correct.
Yep, exactly. So you got even more ways to remind people of how to do it. Look
It's
at
in
that.
a plethora of places.
Whoa!
Oh, connection.
I think there was some alliteration in there too. All right. Honors math. We are working through Unit 2. You do have a work day on Thursday to stay caught up. And we're looking at late next week for our Unit 2 quiz. On to science.
All right. Now, we are finally getting into our last book unit of the year, EMS. So we're going to go through what does that mean? And I normally do this in 2 days. We've broken it down into 4 different days to go over wireless communication, something that is about most of your lives. You care a lot about your cell phones and your Xboxes and things like that. So we're going to talk about how all that Wi-Fi's and how they work. Free Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi's. And then finally, you are going to have a mini test at the end of the unit. That is a hard copy. That's the only thing that needs to be turned in at the end of this next week. Please do not turn in the note slides to me like some of you did on the very first week. Please keep those because you can use all of the notes that you take during these 4 days from Tuesday through Friday. You can use all of those notes on the test to finish it for the week. Please email me if you have any questions on that. All right. One last thing. If you receive the packet, some of us prepped our packets earlier on in the week. If there is still a warm-up attached to those packets, please understand that they're probably crossed off, but if they're not, you are doing them online only to get our attendance down. Okay? You do not need to do those hard copies and submit them as well. Those are to be done online.
I would go one step further and just say don't do them. And
Yep.
I will say that if you are in Trivium, you will be getting one that looks like that, where it has the warm-up sheet with the X through it. Do not do that. That was only
Recycle.
that we had a cover that said Trivium, so you knew what class it was. That's the only reason we did it.
All right, on to our moment of Zen. You probably think it's April, but actually it's just the 106th day of January. Some of you have been commenting about how there's still snow on the ground. I had a brand new shed that I put up in my backyard and it started collapsing the roof because I wasn't done when it started snowing.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Lamprecht.
I had to fix it, but it's okay. The fishing opener is coming up.
The perch opener.
Oh, the perch. Get to catch a walleye. Oh, yeah.
Or a sauger.
Oh, yeah. You guys have a great week, 6th grade. We'll see you on Google Classrooms. Adios, guys.
Bye.